You know, if it's not about sports, I find it very hard to concentrate.
Sports logos used to hit different. If you were a 90s kid like me, or hell, even a 2000s kid, you probably remember some of these old logos. We really didn't appreciate how spoiled we were. We had a cartoon duck, a gradient devil ray, a dinosaur playing basketball, and a buff bird with a maple leaf tattoo. Going back further, you had an elf, Dutch from Red Dead Redemption, and an anthropomorphic keg of beer hitting a home run. Oh, and let's not forget about a wizard playing basketball on a crescent moon. The point is, sports logos used to be creative, inspired, artistic, full of passion. They used to connect with fans and make them proud to cheer for their favorite team. So what changed? This is far from just a sports problem. Corporate America has gone in a similar direction, replacing the beautiful and artistic with bland and minimal. Logos often featured 3, 4, even 5 colors, sometimes every color in the rainbow. This was, of course, before rainbows were gay.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, of course not.
I mean, it's fine if that's who you are.
Absolutely.
So why did it change? Well, at least in part due to a psychological phenomenon called cognitive fluency. Here's what it is according to Google: the subjective ease or difficulty with which the brain processes information. Basically, our brains prefer something that is simple because subconsciously it feels more safe, truthful, and positive. Brands do this because it leads to faster, more confident decision making. Our brains are wired to like things that are simple and easy to understand. We humans don't want to waste too much brain power to process visual stimuli. Simple designs lead to more sales. At one time, sports logos were merely for newspapers to identify which team represented each city. Nowadays, sports teams sell shirts, hats, mugs, blankets, bumper stickers, flags, and much more. To sell these products, brands are aware that simple designs lead to more sales. Major corporations like Apple, YouTube, and Amazon pour tens of millions of dollars into consumer research to try and figure out what will make the customer pull out his or her wallet the quickest. And right now, the consensus is simple equals good. Maybe this wasn't true 30 years ago, but consumer trends are constantly evolving. That's why in 1995 you had a cool looking grizzly bear for the Vancouver Grizzlies, while now you have an MS Paint looking grizzly that looks like the logo of an investment firm. The next reason has less to do with how consumer trends have changed and more about how technology itself has changed. I've said it once and I'll say it again. As we speak, we are currently going through a second industrial revolution. We went from corded telephones, which I remember well, to cell phones that go with us wherever we go. Estimates suggest that the average person sees between 4,000 and 10,000 advertisements per day, and a large majority of those ads are seen on smartphones. Brands have one goal in mind: to grab your attention as quickly as possible and hold it for as long as possible. Sports team branding is no different. When you look at a profile picture for your favorite team's Instagram page, the logo has to be visible despite existing in a small space on a smaller screen. You don't want something that has too much going on to see the details on. You want to see something that's readable and recognizable even when it's a small icon such as an app or a profile picture. Therefore, intricate designs that sports teams once used now no longer can be used effectively. We went from magazines to screens. If you shrink any of these super complex, multicolored logos down to the size of a smartphone app, it's hard to make out what it even is. Simply put, the sports world has to adapt to current technology just like every other industry. It's technological Darwinism. You either adapt or die. Next is timeless appeal. There's a reason why a lot of sports teams have kept the same logo for 50 plus years with few changes. When sports fans see the star that represents the Dallas Cowboys, they know immediately what team to associate it with. Same with the New York Yankees with the interlocking N and Y. These logos have changed very little over the past half century. The simplicity of these new logos ensures that even as graphic design trends change, the logos they create now will stand the test of time. This extends to other brands too. For instance, everyone knows the McDonald's arches. They are simple and effective. Not only that, but sports teams want a logo that can look good on a hat and shirt forever. When the White Sox changed their logo in 1991, it instantly became a hit amongst the urban streetwear crowd, solidifying it as quote-unquote cool, thus leading to more sales, and to this day the White Sox still use that logo. Another reason is returning to the old ways. The Brewers, Orioles, and Blue Jays all currently have a logo that is a modern version of a previous logo. The Anaheim Ducks returned to the cartoon duck logo this year, although with a different color scheme. The Buffalo Sabres currently have a logo that's an updated version of their original logo. And the NBA and NFL love to do throwback uniforms multiple times per season. Nostalgia is a big reason why. People miss the simplicity of old logos before computer-aided design became the industry standard. Before computers, artists used rulers, pencils, pens, and paper. This led to a more flat look, which is a look that is making a comeback in a big way. None of these designs look eye-popping when they appear on a digital screen, but they are simple and reliable, which is why they're being used again. The Atlanta Hawks are another team that use a version of their old logo, one they used from 1972 to 1995. A return to tradition is always appreciated by older fans, as it reminds them of memories of the past. The recognition factor is another reason why logos seem to be getting simpler. Nowadays, with smartphones and tablets, people are bombarded with thousands and sometimes tens of thousands of images per day. Having something that's easy to remember and recognize in the future helps casual fans remember the team. The Jazz's logo, for instance, is easy to remember because it's just simply a music note. Easy, clean, and memorable. It can be put on something as big as a billboard or something as small as a profile picture on social media, and everything in between. Next, a simple logo also sends the message to fans that the team is focused on winning and doesn't need to spend unnecessary dollars on a fancy graphic design firm to create the most complex logo out there. This especially appeals to Gen Z fans, because surveys show they prefer clean, simple logos over complex and flashy ones. It also sends a message that the organization is forward-thinking and ready to embrace the future and put together a winning team. So what are my favorite logos from the past? Well, let's go over them. The Toronto Raptors rocked the dinosaur playing hoops logo from 1995 until 2008 and then a red version of it from 2008 to 2015. The team debuted in 1995, just 2 years after the original Jurassic Park film came out. It has been said that the team chose the name Raptors because of the popularity of the film, and this logo certainly gives off strong Jurassic Park vibes. The team would ditch the dinosaur playing ball logo altogether in 2015 in favor of a basketball with scratch marks on it, and 4 years later would win the franchise's first NBA championship. The team continues to use the scratch mark basketball logo today. It sucks. But the Raptors have brought back their dinosaur logos for certain games in recent years, including a gold version of it and a new version of it where the dinosaur is moving the ball between his legs, which is inspired by Vince Carter's iconic dunk in the 2000 Slam Dunk Contest. The Vancouver Grizzlies debuted in the NBA in the same year as their Canadian counterparts, the Raptors, and immediately had the second coolest logo in the league. The team was originally supposed to be called the Vancouver Mounties, a reference to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, but the Vancouver Police Department objected, and so the team was given the name Grizzlies, named after the bear that's indigenous to British Columbia. The logo featured a bear palming a basketball while roaring. The word mark said Vancouver Grizzlies. The team would rock the logo until 2001 when they moved to Memphis, Tennessee. They slightly altered the logo after their move, replacing Vancouver with Memphis and giving the bear a more fierce, polished look. The team would use the logo until 2004. The Pittsburgh Pirates originally used the letter P from their inception as a team in 1900 until 1934 when they switched to a pirate logo. Their colors back then were red and blue. It took time to get the pirate logo right, as they would cycle through several different iterations before perfecting it in 1997 with this. This beauty would be the Pirates' primary logo from 1997 until 2013 when they switched back to a boring P. This was the first time since 1933 the team hadn't used an actual pirate as their primary logo, and the boring P is still around today, unfortunately. The Mighty Ducks, now simply called the Ducks, were founded in 1992 by the Walt Disney Company. The team was named after the 1992 film of the same name. The team's colors were purple and teal, and their logo was a cartoon duck, which would later be used in the 1997 animated series Mighty Ducks, about anthropomorphic ducks that are from a fictional planet called Puck World. The Ducks would ditch the logo in 2006, choosing to go with a logo that simply said Ducks, signaling their move away from the Mighty Ducks moniker after Disney sold the franchise in 2005. The team updated their color scheme, choosing to go with gold and black with elements of orange. The team updated their logo to a winged D in 2013. And thankfully, before the start of the 2025 through 26 season, they unveiled their new logo, which is an updated version of their old logo. However, the colors did not go back to teal and purple. Their main color is now orange with hints of gold and black. I've got to say, their current uniforms are absolute fire. I think they look even better than the teal and purple. The Tampa area was granted an MLB expansion franchise in 1995, and the team was originally going to be called the Tampa Bay Stingrays, but that trademark was already held by the Maui Stingrays, a Winter League baseball team based in Hawaii. The team began playing in 1998 and rocked a cool gradient logo with a stingray, and next to it the words Tampa Bay Devil Rays. The team used that as their primary logo until 2001 when they ditched the gradient in favor of green and blue with the wording Tampa Bay. Today it's just a simple Rays. Oh, how far we've fallen. The Jazz unveiled new uniforms in 1996 and with it a new logo. Their old logo was simple, just the wording Utah Jazz with the J being a music note. But their new logo featured the Wasatch Mountains behind the word Jazz in big gradient letters, with the word Utah above it and a basketball below it. The Jazz would use this logo until 2004, when they replaced it with a blue and purple version of it, ditching the gradient. In 2010, they tweaked it again, this time making it navy blue, green, and yellow. In 2016, they returned to their original logo pre-1996, but kept the same colors. In 2022, they redid their colors again, making them black and bright yellow, and introduced a new black note logo. These jerseys were sometimes called the highlighter jerseys, for good reason. Starting with the 2025-26 season, they went back to purple and are now rocking an updated version of the Purple Mountain jerseys that got famous around the Stockton and Malone era, with their logo being a purple note now. Pretty boring and basic, especially when they already found perfection in the 90s. The Blue Jays used their buff bird logo from 2001 until 2003, and although it was only in use for a brief time, it was nothing short of perfect. Although I definitely like their current logo, nothing beats the buff Blue Jay with a maple leaf tattoo. I might be the only living, breathing human who actually really digs the Islanders Fisherman logo. Introduced in 1995, it turned out to be one of the biggest marketing disasters in sports history. They didn't even show the logo to any focus groups, they just said, "Fuck it, we ball." Fans hated it. They said that it looked like the Fisherman logo used by Gorton's frozen food. Fans actually booed the logo's debut. The team tried to switch back after the season, but the NHL felt it was unfair to the retailers who would be stuck with products they couldn't sell. So they made the Islanders keep it for one more season, before they ditched it for good in 1997. But the team did bring it back in 2022 as part of the NHL's reverse retro trend. So there you have it, sports logos, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and why they are seemingly so boring now. But I'd love to hear your opinion. Do you like the simple logos of modern times or the intricate logos of the 90s and early 2000s? Be sure to comment your favorite vintage logo. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you hated it, leave a dislike. But either way, comment and hype. Peace out.
Yeah, sicker than sicker cell. Niggas hating, then faking, don't wish me well. Cop a pack, fuck a day, take a tell. 1 a.m. hit the cut, we need 50 sodas. 50 deep, looking like we gon' rock the shell. 100K on my wrist, cop a bullet shell. Finna Uber these hoes from Mechanicsville. Put them hoes on a bean, it's a movie reel. Off the book, get they talking like Dr. Phil. Bet they go down like Titanic still. Bet they on dick when I hit still. I never trip, aim at his lip. He could get popped still. I'm not a goon, but I stay with goons.